Hello everyone, my name's Jamie McCracken, and many of you have had me in class before. Several of you actually just finished up accounting class with me earlier this month. I'm really excited to be able to offer a summer course this year, especially with it being MA253 statistics. I majored in math and accounting as a student here, and I noticed then, and I still notice today, that students struggle with math, and it's natural. It's normal to be scared about taking math classes. Statistics is a really scary subject to approach. I've spent several months rebuilding this course and the entire last school year researching new textbooks. I wanted to take an approach where I could gear this towards non-math majors in a way that you can take the topics that we're going to cover and apply them to your major area of study. We'll be working on things like that each week. In this video, I'm going to go through just a brief overview of our meeting times and what D2L looks like. When you go into the course, you'll see the home page. It's got an activity feed. The activity feed is where I post important notices to all of you, as well as just other general comments and things that I find interesting. You can feel free to comment back, almost like a Facebook feed. You're either in the campus section, which meets Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or in the alternative format course that meets 3 Saturdays, June 2nd, June 23rd, and July 14th, roughly from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can feel free to mix and match the ways that you attend. If you attend the campus section, that's fine, or the alternative format, that's fine. You may find that in some units that we cover, you're better off to attend just the one Saturday session versus 2 to 3 weeks of coverage that we have in class. That's all perfectly fine as long as we set that up in advance of each section we're starting. I'm going to section the course off somewhat by the spacing between the weeks. On June 2nd in the alternative format class, I'll cover the first 3 chapters. That will be chapters 1, 2, and 3, and almost to the halfway point of the chapter material. June 23rd, I'll cover 3 more chapters, and so on. So when you scroll down on the home page, you'll see my bio over to the right. Other things in the activity feed that I've posted is information on the book. So this is a screenshot from our bookstore. For the book, you can either get the standalone MyLab Stats Code, which should come with an ebook, or the loose leaf or paperback book that also comes with an access code. Be very careful about ordering your book from somewhere else online, because it may say it's new. That doesn't mean it automatically comes with a MyLab Stats Code, so make sure it comes with that. Right below that, there's a handout with instructions on how to get registered for the course once you have your code. I post funny little comics and cartoons and things like that. Then to the right you see a picture of the textbook and again the information you need. You have your student resources, the calendar, and the Pinterest board that I've created called All Things Statistics. So there's lots of good statistics articles and links on here that you may find useful. So we're going to spend a little bit of time looking through the content section. In content, if I click on Table of Contents, it will list out everything that we have in the course. So under the MA253 resources, you've got your syllabus, that registration handout, and project guidelines. We'll talk about project guidelines in class. That's your final project that's due very late in the semester. There are a few chapters, chapter 1 being one of them, where you can choose to do the case instead of the quiz and homework if you feel that you fully mastered the chapter content. You'll notice notes in here that you must absolutely work alone on the case. They will be ran through turnitin.com. 1 count of plagiarism in this course is an automatic F in the course. These cases do have no redo options if they are incorrect. And the link that takes you to all the chapter cases is listed right here. I also included the Excel technology manuals by chapter. I recommend that you use Excel for a lot of the solving that we do in here. You can feel free to get a scientific graphing calculator, but you can do most things that we need to do using Excel. Each week we cover 1 to 2 chapters. There's a few weeks that we cover parts of 2 chapters, but for the most part it's 1. The setup of how we do this is you read the chapter. If you're in the campus class, you read the entire chapter before the Monday that we start it. I go over that chapter briefly. I will not recite the entire chapter to you. I want you to review the chapter PowerPoint. That has a lot of examples in it, and again, I don't feel that I need to recite those all to you. We'll typically go over that chapter in class. I'll show you an example or two. I'll take questions on the chapter, and then when we have time left over on Mondays, I'll give you time to work on catching up on reading or starting on the quiz. Wednesdays will be designated as quiz and homework day. If you use your time wisely, it'd leave you with very little homework outside of class other than reading your chapters. Every week you complete your chapter quiz, and they're called review quizzes in my math lab. That's going to grade automatically and give you a % score. It intentionally does not show you which ones you missed or what the answers were. That's because once you submit that and get your score, you can click right on the link to do your homework. Your homework is that exact same quiz, and you have to do any of the questions or problems over where you did not master that learning outcome. So let's say, for an example, in a chapter, maybe learning outcome 2 had 3 quiz questions. If you got one of the quiz questions wrong, you have to redo all 3 of those questions in your homework. Many of the weeks give you multiple attempts. You'll see that listed out in my math lab about how many attempts you get. So basically you take your quiz, from that you do your homework. If you get a perfect on your quiz, you don't have any homework. You can just basically take your quiz and be finished with that chapter. Once your quiz and your homework are complete, you're going to submit screenshots, and I'll show you how to do that in class too. You're going to do a screenshot of your assignment score for your quiz and your homework and submit those in the respective drop boxes or assignment folders in D2L. Week 1 has an introduction discussion board. Just read all and introduce yourself, and it'll help with that 5-day academic check for financial aid. And again, the alternative assignment in Chapter 1 is if you feel like you've mastered it, you can choose the case. You'll see below my little blurb with all the instructions some helpful links that I've put in. A lot of times I'll find interesting videos that I think might be helpful. The chapter PowerPoint, the link to the quiz, the link to the assignment folder. Well, this is the link to submit your screenshot for your quiz. the link to submit your screenshot for your Chapter 1 homework, and the link to the discussion board to introduce yourself. You'll also see each week a chapter, so say this is Chapter 1, a Chapter 1 PowerPoint for class pop up in here. This is what I'm going to cover in class, and I'm also going to do a recording like this to cover that PowerPoint, so everyone in the alternative format class can have that as a resource. Each week you're just going to continue through doing these chapter by chapter. At the end of week 4 and at the end of week 8 you'll have an exam. This will be done in my math lab. So exam 1 will be taken in class during week 4. Exam 2 will be taken in class during week 8. If you have any questions about this course or ever need me, my office is in the basement of the library, and that's where we're having class in LB 001. I will be having office hours on Mondays and Wednesdays between 9 and noon, and then I'll be there on Mondays and Wednesdays after class finishes until at least 4:30 or 5. I'm always available by email, and I have a virtual office hour where I'm online every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. So I want to wish you all luck with taking your summer courses, and anytime that you need me, feel free to contact me, and this will be a great use of your time this summer to get a course that so many students fear and dread out of the way. Have a great 8-week term.